Hey all, today we have a little bonus video for you. What we're going to do is run through a Python prototype that we created for our Notes audio memory game. And this is before we created the Arduino project and did the build. Essentially, we needed to do a quick prototype to see what the game would look like and if it was viable, if the game was fun to play. Today we're going to make an Arduino project resembling an old kid's toy, Simon. In Simon, you repeat a sequence of colors and sounds. Well, our spin on this will be that it's only by ear. So we're going to go through and talk about the Python code, the Python version here, and we'll run through that for you and show you. This is going to be good if you don't want to run through the whole project, but you still want to play the game. You don't have to solder everything up, and you can just play it on your computer. It's going to play us a note, and we're going to have to repeat it back. We got it right. Oh, we got it wrong. So let's get into the code here. We have this program in Eclipse, and the code and the MP3 files here for this project will be on GitHub. So please check out the description and give us a like and subscribe while you're there. So first of all, we need, in our project, we need MP3 files. Those are going to be the notes that we're playing, and that download link is available for you. So we extract those in the current directory, and they're named 0001 through 11 here. We're only going to play up to 7. Those are the notes starting with C, D, E, F, G, A, B on our piano. And let's get into the game real quick. So when we hit play, so the first thing that happens is it picks a random value of a note for you to play. And I've actually got this is cheat turned on to true, so it tells us exactly what note it played. It played note number 5. So we can hit 5 back. It says great job. Now it plays 2 notes, 5 and 7. And as you can see, we just kind of keep repeating the pattern. And if we get it wrong, it will go ahead and tell us that we're wrong. And you can hit Q to exit. Okay, let's go through the code. The first thing that this program relies on is it needs to play an MP3 file. And to do that, we're going to use the VLC library in Python. So if you don't already have the library, you can use the apt-get install python 3 VLC, or you can use pip or a different way to install it. We'll have some inputs. We're going to use random for getting the random sequence and the VLC library. And then there's a thing called PYInput, and that's basically for capturing key presses. Okay, let's go through some global variables. We have isCheat. As we're testing, it's hard to kind of play back the notes correctly every time. So you can have it output the actual notes that it's playing. That's a good way to just kind of play along and learn how the program works. And then we have some MP3 file constants. So this is telling you what number file these sounds go to. So we have a correct sound. These are sound effects. Sound, what happens when it's wrong, game over, and your turn. And that just refers back to the number of the MP3 file, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1 through 7 are just the notes, so we already know what those are. Let's go to the main, and we'll just go over that, and then we'll cover all the functions. So def main, we have level. Level represents how many notes we have to play back, and that's kind of increases each time we go through, so it gets harder and harder as we play. We have a signal called end game, so if end game is set, then it just kind of stops playing. The next thing we have is basically if there is no level set, let's generate our notes sequence, and the notes array is just a array of 100 random values. So this is where we increment the level. It'll print the level you're on. And then there's really two functions that this game has. It's play computer and play user. So play computer will be the computer playing back the notes that you need to remember, and then play user will be grabbing the user input and checking that input against the computer. Okay, so let's start at the very top and we'll go through all the helper functions and the actual code. First we have def get file. It's just a very basic helper function that if you give it the note number like 1, it remaps it to what the MP3 file would be, so that'd be 0001.mp3. And the reason for that format is the DF player that we had set up with the Arduino requires the MP3s in that format. Then we have play audio. We need something to go ahead and play the music file for us, or play the MP3. So we're going to set up a VLC media player with that file name. And we just hit player play. Now we want to make this a synchronous operation, so we're going to wait until the player state is done and then stop. Okay, so we're not, this is actually a asynchronous operation unless you sit there and wait explicitly. So that just makes sure that we're not skipping ahead. Next helper function is pretty easy. It's the generate random. It just gives you an array of random notes between 1 and 7. Next, we have to handle user input, and we have that get user note function for that. We're going to be using callbacks with the keyboard.listener command, and we're listening for a key press and a key release. So we have those two listeners set up. The reason is you don't want to have to type 1, enter, 2, enter, 3, enter. What we're doing is we're playing a sequence of notes, so we want to capture the key 1 and 2 and 3 as we press them. So this will start some asynchronous calls that will kind of play when the user's hitting the keys. So we have on key release. We don't really need to do anything there. And then on key press. Here we need to kind of evaluate what key the user pressed and do the appropriate action. The way to exit is to hit Q. That sets the end game flag, as we saw earlier, and this will just kind of cleanly exit the program. And then we just check the character. If it's 1 through 7, then that's good. If not, then we're going to say invalid input. And then we just, as the users hit a valid note, then we just capture that note as a global variable. And so when we want the note in a later function, we will be able to grab that. So like I said, the two main functions is play user and play computer. Let's go through play user. It basically takes the array of notes that were generated and the level that we're on. And what it's going to do is run through all the notes up to the level that you're on from the main array. And then for each note, it's going to run the get user note function, which will capture a single character. If we've already indicated that we should end the game, it just gets out of this loop. Otherwise, it will play the audio for that user note. So as I hit 4, it's going to play the C, D, E, F, F. It's going to play the FMP3 file. Now, after we've played the note from the user, we should check if it's right. So we will basically check the computer-generated sequence versus the note that was provided. If it's wrong, we can immediately just say, oops, that's wrong, and play the sound effect to sound wrong. And then this is just going to kick you out. So it sets level 0 and returns. If you did press the correct key or the correct note, it's going to continue in this loop And eventually, if you get all of them right, it'll say you're an ace, great job, and play sound correct. So that means you've played all the sequence of keys properly. And finally here we have play computer. This is pretty easy. All it has to do is play back the sequence of notes up to the level that we're on. And this is my is_cheat code here. It'll print out the actual array for you if you want to know what the sequence is ahead of time. Then you have going through the loop, it just plays each note, and then it says your turn. What did notes say? Awesome. So let's go ahead and see how well we do if we turn is_cheat off. Let's say that's 4. Yeah. Okay, so it went down, maybe 4-2. Okay, the only thing left is 1, so it's 4, 2, 1. Okay, how about 5 on that one? 4. Oh. Okay, so there we go. We lost. So we got to level 5. So see if you can play along and see if you can beat my score. Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.